Have you ever had a woman look you in the eyes, smile like she's fine, and then tell you something she's never told anyone? And you felt, for a second, like the game ended? Here's the disturbing truth. Most men think they win a woman by impressing her, by being funny, by being useful, by being the safest choice on paper. But the real moment she decides you're different is darker than that. It's the moment she risks being seen as weak in front of you. Because weakness is expensive. Once you know where she bleeds, you could hurt her, and she knows it. That's why the things she shares matter more than what she posts, more than how she dresses, more than how fast she replies. A woman can flirt with you and still keep you outside the locked door of her real self. But when she shares certain things, real things, you're no longer just the guy she's talking to. You're a place she's starting to live. Reason 1. When she tells you what she's afraid of, she's not opening up. She's measuring your danger. Fear is the first thing she hides from men who feel temporary. Temporary men get the polished version, the version that can be replaced. But fear is personal. Fear has a name. And if she says it out loud, she's letting you hold it. You'll notice how it happens. It's not a dramatic confession. It's usually after a quiet moment, late in the car, walking back from dinner, sitting in your place with the TV on and the sound low. Her eyes don't look at you at first. She'll say it like she doesn't want it to be true. I hate when people leave. I get scared I'm not enough. I don't like feeling out of control. And then she'll watch your face, not your words, because she's testing something simple. Will you weaponize it later? Will you store it like ammunition? Some men do. They act gentle in the moment, then bring it up in a fight like a knife. This is why you're like this. This is your issue. You're just insecure. That's why she usually doesn't share fear until she believes you're not that man. And the darker part is this. She wants protection without feeling controlled. She wants to feel like you can handle her softness without trying to own her. So she watches whether your energy changes, whether you get smug, whether you get intense, whether you suddenly start acting like her therapist or her father or her savior. Those roles feel safe at first, but they kill desire later. A woman doesn't fall in love with the man who tries to fix her. She falls in love with the man she can relax around. So if she tells you what she's afraid of, you're already in a different room. Not because she's in love, because she's attached enough to risk respect in your eyes. The strong girl mask cracks a little. And once that mask cracks with you, it rarely goes back on the same way. Here's the moment everything quietly changes. When she admits she overthinks everything. Men hear that and think it's a cute personality trait. It's not. Overthinking is control in disguise. It's how she tries to prevent pain before it arrives. It's how she stays one step ahead of abandonment, embarrassment, disappointment. When she tells you that, she's confessing vulnerability without asking for help directly. She's saying her mind isn't calm. She's telling you she spirals. She reads tone. She replays words. She fills silence with stories. And she's trusting you with that chaos, which means she's letting you closer than her effortless image. Watch how she says it. She'll laugh a little like she wants to soften it. I know I overthink. My brain doesn't stop. I'm probably being crazy. And that last line is the giveaway. She's testing if you'll get annoyed, dismissive, or gently steady. Because the wrong man makes her feel stupid for her nervous system. The right man doesn't reward the spiral, but he doesn't punish it either. And this is where most men ruin it. They try to reassure her into silence. They give big promises to calm her down. I'd never leave. You're perfect. Stop thinking. It feels kind, but it teaches her to need reassurance to breathe. Then one day you can't keep up and she collapses. Or you resent her. Or she resents you for creating a dependency. When she admits she overthinks, she's warning you about how she self-sabotages before she does it. She's showing you the insecurity behind her confidence. And she's watching whether you stay respectful when she's not the shiny version. If you can hold steady, she starts associating you with calm. And calm becomes addictive when her mind is loud. This is the part nobody talks about. When she shares a shameful past detail, she's handing you the kind of truth she only gives to home. Shame is guarded because it can destroy how she's seen. A woman can survive a man not liking her outfit. She can survive a man not liking her jokes. But if a man downgrades her after she shows him her shame, something in her closes for a long time. So she rarely says it directly. She circles it. She tests the water with smaller admissions first. Then one night, it slips out. A mistake, a messy chapter, a thing she did when she was younger that she regrets, a situation she stayed in too long, a way she betrayed herself. And you'll feel her brace for impact, because she's betting you won't judge her. She's betting you won't punish her later with silent contempt. She's checking if you're mature, or if you're the kind of man who collects dirt to feel superior. And men do this more than they admit. They smile in the moment, then their respect changes. Their touch changes. Their tone becomes colder. She feels it instantly. If she shares shame with you, it's not because she wants sympathy. It's an intimacy move. She wants to be accepted as a whole person, not a perfect one. And if you don't flinch, her body relaxes. Not metaphorically, physically. Her shoulders drop, her voice settles, because trust just deepened, and she can feel it. But there's a darker temptation in that moment. When a woman shows you shame, you can feel power. You can feel she can't leave now. You can feel like you own something. And if you ever use that power, even once, she will never fully feel safe with you again. She might stay, she might smile, but she'll be guarded. She'll hide the real parts and give you the performance again. Reason 2. And this is where men confuse it. When she shows you her unfiltered mood, she's not being difficult. She's dropping performance because she doesn't feel she has to entertain you. Unfiltered mood is what she hides from men she's still trying to win. The early stage version is polished, sweet, fun, light. But the real version has edges, fatigue, irritation, silence. A day where she doesn't want to be charming. When she lets you see that, she's testing if you can handle her without trying to fix or control her. Most men panic when a woman's mood changes. They take it personally. They ask, "What's wrong?" 10 times. They try to cheer her up like it's their job. Or they get cold and punish her for not being pleasant. That's how she learns she has to perform to keep you warm. But if she can be messy and you stay respectful, she feels something rare. Emotional safety. Not the fake kind where you agree with everything. The real kind, where she doesn't have to be pretty to be valued. She's showing you how she regulates stress, how she reacts when she's overwhelmed, how she handles frustration. And if she stays in your presence even when her energy isn't cute, it means she's attached. Because a woman who isn't attached will disappear when she's not polished. She'll keep you for the highlight reel. She'll only show you the good days. But when she shows you the unfiltered mood, she's letting you see what most men only see after it's too late, after they move in, after they commit, after the mask is gone. Here's a quiet sign you're in deeper than you think. She stops apologizing for being human. She doesn't narrate every emotion. She just exists. She sits next to you and doesn't fill the silence. She's tired, and she doesn't pretend she's not. That's trust, and it's fragile. Reason 3. When she talks about her family wounds, she's giving you the blueprint she rarely admits she lives by. Family wounds are the source code, the original story, the place she learned what love costs and what love takes. And she doesn't share that with men she's just flirting with. She'll bring it up casually at first, like it's a normal story. My dad was like this. My mom used to. In my house, we didn't. But then you'll hear the quiet pain underneath. You'll hear the trigger points, the things that still sting. The ways she learned to distrust, the ways she learned to hold back, and she's watching what you do with it. She wants to see if you'll use it to understand her or label her. Some men hear family wounds and turn it into a diagnosis. They start talking down to her. They start treating her like she's broken. Or worse, they treat her like she's easy to control because she has pain. But she's not showing you those wounds so you can fix her. She's exposing the pain she's terrified you'll eventually hit, because you will hit it, accidentally. You'll forget something. You'll go quiet. You'll disappoint her. You'll trigger that old story. And she's telling you ahead of time because she's thinking long term, whether she admits it or not. This is the part nobody talks about. When she confesses what hurts her ego, she's handing you a map to her weak spots and trusting you not to strike. Ego pain is usually hidden because it makes her feel small. It's the thing she overcompensates for, the thing she acts above, the thing she pretends doesn't matter. It might be her body, her age, her past, her intelligence, being replaced, being compared, being ignored, being seen as too much, being seen as not enough. And when she tells you, she's not asking you to fix it. She's testing your emotional discipline. Because once you know what hurts her ego, you could control her with it. You could tease her in a way that cuts. You could threaten her with silence. You could make her compete for your attention. And she wants to believe you won't. She wants to believe you can hold power without using it like a weapon. If she admits it, your opinion carries weight now. That's why it's dangerous. A careless joke can land like betrayal. A cold reaction can become a scar. And men don't notice they're doing it because they think, it was nothing. But to her, it wasn't nothing. It was you touching the exact place she begged you not to. Reason 4. When she lets you see her neediness, she's doing something she hates. Neediness is the thing she pretends she doesn't have. It's the one thing she believes makes her less attractive. So she hides it behind jokes or independence or, I don't care. But when she shows it to you, she's risking rejection in real time. It can be small. A text that says, I miss you. Then she tries to play it off. A moment where she asks, are you mad at me? Even though you're calm. A soft request for reassurance she pretends she doesn't need. Or a simple, quiet admission. I like when you're around. That's her exposing dependence in small doses to see if you'll punish it. Because a lot of men punish it. They feel powerful, and they pull away. They act colder to increase control. They start playing games. They start making her earn warmth. And she learns that her softness was a mistake. But if she lets you see her neediness and you stay warm without losing respect, you become a comfort, not just a thrill. And comfort is not boring when it's earned. Comfort is where real attachment forms. Now, listen closely, because this is where the whole idea of you've already won gets twisted. The moment she shares these things, you might feel like you've secured her, like you can relax, like she's yours. And that thought is exactly how men lose what they just gained. Here's the inward flip starting to press on you. The real test isn't whether she shares. The real test is what it does to you when she does. Because the second a woman reveals fear, shame, ego pain, neediness, something in a man wakes up. Sometimes it's tenderness, but sometimes it's entitlement. Sometimes it's control. Sometimes it's the quiet belief that she can't leave now because you've seen her raw. And if you carry that belief, even silently, she will feel it. She'll feel you get comfortable. She'll feel you stop choosing her and start owning her. She'll feel your respect become conditional. Warm when she's open, cold when she pulls back. She'll feel you start keeping score. So ask yourself a brutal question. Do you want her trust, or do you want the power that comes with it? Because a lot of men say they want intimacy, but what they really want is leverage. They want a woman to confess, so they can finally stop feeling insecure. They want her to need them, so they can finally feel safe. And that's why so many men ruin the exact moment they've been waiting for. She shares a fear, and he turns it into a tool. She admits overthinking, and he gets impatient. She reveals shame, and he judges her silently. She shows an unfiltered mood, and he punishes her for not being fun. She reveals ego pain, and he jokes about it later. She shows neediness, and he withdraws to feel powerful. You think the victory is her opening up. The real victory is being the kind of man she can open up around without regretting it. And if you're honest, that requires something most men don't have: control over themselves. Because the darkest truth is this: the things she shares with you become the exact places you could destroy her. And if you don't trust your own discipline, you'll either avoid intimacy or abuse it. You'll keep her close and still never be safe. So when she shares this with you, it doesn't mean you've won her. It means you've been invited into the part of her that can be harmed. And the moment you realize you've been invited, you're faced with a choice. You can treat her vulnerability like a gift or like a handle. And the reason this matters so much is because it exposes your own hunger. Your hunger to be needed. Your hunger to feel irreplaceable. Your hunger to finally hear in some form, "I trust you." Because for a lot of men, that's the real drug. Not sex, not attention, trust. And if you're addicted to it, you'll start doing subtle things to get more. You'll push her to share. You'll ask questions that sound deep but are really invasive. You'll keep pulling her into emotional conversations because it makes you feel important. And eventually she'll feel drained, like she's being pulled into confessionals she didn't ask for, and she'll start pulling away again. And you'll feel that familiar panic rising, and you'll try to pull harder. And that's when you become the kind of man she has to protect herself from, even if she likes you. Here's the moment everything quietly changes. When she senses you're treating her vulnerability as proof of ownership. Women don't pull back because they got bored. They pull back when they feel a shift in safety. And safety isn't about you being nice. It's about you being disciplined. She shared fear with you because she believed you wouldn't use it. She shared shame because she believed you wouldn't downgrade her. She showed you unfiltered mood because she believed you wouldn't punish her for being human. She exposed ego pain because she believed you wouldn't strike it in a fight. She showed neediness because she believed you wouldn't turn it into leverage. So the moment she feels you enjoying the power of knowing too much, something in her closes. She might not call it closing. She'll call it being busy. She'll call it needing space. She'll call it being tired. But it's really a subtle withdrawal. Not from you as a person, from you as a risk. Reason 5. When she says what she really wants in a man, she's not giving you a checklist. She's revealing her hunger. She's revealing what she's been looking for and what she keeps failing to find. And that kind of confession doesn't come out for men she's just casually entertaining. Listen to how it comes out. It's usually after she's been disappointed. After she tells you a story about someone who wasted her time. After she admits she hates games. After she says she wants something real but doesn't trust it. And then she'll say it, almost quietly, like it's embarrassing to want anything at all. She might say she wants consistency. She wants a man who doesn't disappear. She wants calm. She wants protection without control. She wants honesty without cruelty. She wants to feel chosen without feeling trapped. And she's watching whether you hear it as a mission or as information. Because the wrong man hears that and immediately starts performing it. He becomes the guy she wants, like it's an outfit. He speaks the right lines. He mirrors her desires. He promises the world. And she feels it. She feels when a man is trying to mold himself into her dream. It sounds flattering at first. Then it feels hollow. Because it's not rooted. It's borrowed. The right man hears it and stays himself. He doesn't rush to prove. He doesn't overpromise. He simply lets his behavior speak. Because what she's really asking for isn't perfection. It's stability. A man whose core doesn't shift depending on her mood. This is the part nobody talks about. When she trusts you with a secret, she's not just telling you something. She's binding herself to you. A secret is a private bridge. It's a thread that lives in the dark. And she only hands you that thread if she believes you won't cut her with it. Secrets aren't always dramatic. Sometimes it's something small that she's never told anyone because it makes her feel exposed. Sometimes it's something messy she's ashamed of. Sometimes it's a fear she doesn't admit out loud. Sometimes it's a family detail. Sometimes it's a private habit, a private thought, a private insecurity. And the second she says it, she watches your eyes, because secrets are a test of character. Not in a moral way, in a discipline way. Can you carry something delicate without dropping it? Can you hold her trust without telling yourself you earned access to everything else? Can you keep a private door private, even if she's upset with you later? A lot of men fail this in ways they don't notice. They mention the secret casually to a friend. They joke about it. They hint at it in a fight. They let it slip when they're trying to win an argument. And once that happens, her trust doesn't just break, it reshapes. She becomes careful with you. She stops giving you the real material. She gives you the edited version again. Reason 6. When she talks about her future like you're in it, that's not small talk. That's psychological placement. She's mentally rehearsing a life with you. She's not saying, "I love you." She's doing something deeper. She's building a picture that includes you without asking permission. It sounds casual. We should go there one day. Next summer would be nice for that. If we ever lived in... When I have kids, I want... She might not even look at you when she says it, because she's trying not to make it a big thing. But it is a big thing. Because women don't place temporary men into long-term frames. They keep temporary men in the now. And again, she's watching what you do. Does your energy get greedy? Do you lean in too hard and start planning like you've secured her? Do you start acting like she's committed because she mentioned next month? Do you turn her future talk into a contract? Because here's the dark truth. Once she starts imagining you in her future, her fear gets sharper too. The more she wants you, the more she risks losing. So she'll watch whether you can stay steady while she moves closer. She'll watch whether you start grasping. She'll watch whether you start relaxing your standards and becoming sloppy because you think the win happened. Here's the final descent, because this is where the title becomes dangerous. If she shares this with you, "You've already won" is a trap if you interpret it as ownership. The real win isn't that she shared. The real win is that she shared and you didn't become a different man. Because the moment a woman lets you into the raw room, she's hoping you're not like the others. Not in your words, in your restraint, in your respect, in the way you don't punish her softness, in the way you don't exploit her neediness, in the way you don't use her fear as leverage, in the way you don't weaponize her shame to feel superior. And the cold realization is this: her vulnerability is not proof you're safe forever. It's proof she took a risk today. And she'll keep assessing that risk. Every argument, every joke, every moment you're angry, every time you feel insecure, every time you're tempted to make her pay. So if she shares fear, don't become her savior. If she admits overthinking, don't feed it with constant reassurance. If she shares shame, don't downgrade her in your mind. If she shows unfiltered mood, don't punish her for not performing. If she exposes ego pain, don't strike it when you're frustrated. If she shows neediness, don't withdraw to feel powerful. If she tells you what she wants, don't cosplay as the man she described. If she trusts you with a secret, don't treat it like a trophy. If she talks about the future, don't treat it like a contract. Because the fastest way to lose a woman who trusted you is to act like her trust belongs to you. So the real question isn't, what did she share? The real question is, who do you become after she shares it? Do you become calmer or greedier? Do you become steadier or entitled? Do you become protective or controlling? Do you honor what she gave you, or do you squeeze it until it breaks? If this made you see something you were avoiding, you already know what to do.